All right, as far as I know, this is exclusive. BYD's their best EV, even though it's not Fangcheng Bao, it's not a Yang Wang. I think this is their absolute best EV that they have. The technology pretty much speaks for itself. It's the fastest charging car. It's coming, and my mind is blown that they're going to do this. This is awesome. It actually gives BYD finally a technological edge, one that they haven't held for the last few years, and all of a sudden they've just leapfrogged a few of their competitors. Leaked reports have revealed that BYD are going to be selling the new Tang L, electric SUV, 7-seater, both an EV and a plug-in hybrid. I'm not going to reveal my sources, but this is about 99% guaranteed. 1,000 kilowatt fast charging, coming to New Zealand, I believe, Australia, Thailand, Malaysia, right-hand drive countries, and the UK. 1,000 kilowatt fast charging and the new Blade battery. We're finally going to see the new Blade battery. This new battery has a higher energy density, not much higher, but it's a bit higher than the previous version. But importantly, the big thing that it has is that insane charging speed, being able to add 400 kilometers of range in a staggering 5 minutes. But there is a plug-in hybrid version as well. So let's have a look at the details of both of these vehicles. Really, they are revolutionary. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. I'll be at the EV show, the Melbourne Auto Show that's actually in June, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks time, on the 27th, 28th, and 29th. I'd love to see you there. I'll put a link in the description so you can get a 25% discount on your tickets. BYD's Tang L. That's the new version of the Tang. BYD have confirmed that a 7-seat vehicle is coming to right-hand drive markets, including Australia, and they only make one 7-seater in the world. Well, actually, they make two. They still make the old Tang, which is actually dated and old, and no one buys it. And obviously, that's not the car they're bringing. It'd be insane. That car is very old now. So they only make really one modern 7-seat vehicle, and that's the Tang L. Don't get me wrong, BYD do make other 7-seaters, but they're under different brands. That's a totally different brands. They're the Yang Wang brand. Fangcheng Bao, that's not the vehicles they're talking about. So this is the 7-seat vehicle that's coming, right-hand drive. David Smitherman, the CEO of BYD's, their soon-to-be dropped Australian distributor EV Direct, has confirmed that a 7-seat car is coming. He said this to Drive, to the media, recently. I'm happy to go on record to say I want a 7-seater. I've said from day one, blah, 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 it's going to be SUV, or we need a 7-seater 100%. He was asked directly, will BYD sell a 7-seat SUV in right-hand drive? Will it be in Australia? And of course, that represents other markets as well, because BYD are never going to make a right-hand drive car just for Australia. Our car market's way too small. So that confirms it's coming to numerous right-hand drive car markets around the world. He confirmed saying, yes, 100%, it's happening. So this is the car. He said it will be a new model, meaning the only model they have, the BYD Tang L, which is their new model. And I'm hoping it's this year. So this new 7-seat electric vehicle from BYD, the Tang L, is utilizing some pretty damn insane technology. It's, I believe, the only EV in the world that can charge at 1 megawatt, which is 1,000 kilowatt. Pricing starts at US $31,700, indicating a possible starting price in right-hand drive car markets of potentially around about 40,000 US dollars would be my guess. 40,000 US dollars, meaning a starting price potentially of around probably 62,000 Australian dollars, maybe $65,000 approximately. For that price, it's pretty damn good, right? Now, I should point out there's different variants of this car. It starts at a price of 32,000, and the most expensive version costs 40,000 US dollars. And it does utilize, of course, the new God's Eye C, which is BYD's kind of semi-autonomous driving tech. It's a pretty big car, not massive, but pretty big. It's 5,040 millimeters long, so basically 5 meters long, 2 meters wide. It's fairly wide. And it has a wheelbase that is 3 meters long, or 2,950 millimeters. It's considered a mid to large SUV. On the inside, it has a 15.6-inch central control screen, probably standard really for most EVs these days. But it also has an optional AR heads-up display. Hidden air vents integrate with the vehicle's interior design. The interior is pretty nice, I think. Personally, I've owned a BYD, but I wasn't a huge fan of the interiors of them. But I think they've really started to improve the interiors over the last 12 months. And the simple design, very, very simple design, but elegant. I quite like the look of the inside. I could definitely sit in that car. So one of the weird features of this vehicle, which is very, to me, China-centric, I don't think this will be coming to other countries, but in China, it comes with an integrated drone system that integrates into the roof. I'm going to guess that would have to lower your range a little bit because it sticks out of the roof. But anyway, the roof houses a compartment containing a drone and charging equipment that can be deployed with one button operation, offering a flight range of up to 2 kilometers. So if you're going on a road trip, going for a drive, while you're driving along, or when you're stopped, you can just send the drone up from the roof and it can take a video of you driving while you're driving along. That's actually pretty cool for YouTubers and the like, other people. But it's not something that I can see taking off outside of China, but it could. What do you guys think? Is this something you'd want? Would you want a drone inbuilt into the roof of your car? It sort of sticks out a bit, but is that something you'd want? Let us know in the comments. Driving assistance. So as I mentioned before, it comes with BYD's Pilot 300, which is actually God's Eye B. I was wrong on God's Eye C. It's God's Eye B. This is the better version of their autonomous driving. Don't know how good it is. Never tested it. I don't think anyone has yet that I know of that's to be trusted. Anyhow, it's got roof-mounted LiDAR on higher trim levels, and it uses Dialink 150 intelligent cockpit system. So basically, the software is an upgrade over other BYDs. The pure electric version offers both single and dual motor configurations, and it has a motor I've talked about. I did a separate video on the motor that BYD uses in these vehicles, which is honestly staggering. It has the world's highest power or the highest spinning speed. It goes to 30,511 RPM, 30,511 RPM speed. And that means that the motor has 580 kilowatt or 788 horsepower, which is unbelievable from one motor. The dual motor version adds a 230 kilowatt front motor, meaning the dual motor version has 810 kilowatt or 1,100 horsepower, and it can accelerate from 0 to 100 in 3.9 seconds. Kind of crazy, scary, but awesome at the same time. All versions come with a 100.5 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery. It's the new, there's 2 new Blade batteries. It's not the higher energy density version. We know that because the higher energy density version can't charge at 1,000 kilowatt. So it's a slightly lower energy density version, but the energy density is still about 10% higher than BYD's existing battery. It's actually the BYD's, I believe it's a short Blade battery. So the Blade batteries are about half the length of BYD's existing Blade batteries, and that enables this insanely fast charging speed. Anyway, what that means is with that 100 kilowatt hour battery, you're going to get 670 kilometers of range, CLTC, probably about 570 kilometers of range, WLTP, for the rear-wheel drive model. The all-wheel drive model, 600 kilometers CLTC, and that means around 500 kilometers for the all-wheel drive, WLTP. If you want to get the drone version, it only comes on the all-wheel drive, but it reduces range by 40 kilometers. So there you can see how much of a difference it makes to have things sticking out of your roof. I personally wouldn't want a nearly 10% range reduction for having a drone on the roof, but some people might like that. As I mentioned before, it has a 1,000 volt high voltage platform allowing 1,000 kilowatt charging. Will you be able to charge at 1,000 kilowatt for a long time? No, that's just your peak. Now to get to 1,000 maybe for a short period of time, maybe a minute or less, and then it would be down. But anyway, it's still incredibly fast charging. And BYD say that they're going to build out 15,000 chargers in China, and in fact, they're going to build out a fast charging network in Europe as well. And I've heard they've got plans for one for Australia. They would enable super fast charging. Will it enable 1,000 kilowatt charging from those chargers themselves? Most of them won't be capable of that because the big bottleneck will be the amount of electricity the grid can actually send to those chargers. It's unlikely you're going to be able to get those kinds of speeds. but you will be getting probably 500 kilowatt plus charging. So that's awesome. Coming to China, coming to Europe, and I've heard also coming to Australia. I've heard BYD, Zeekr, and XPeng, all three companies are looking for charging locations in Australia where they can utilize their 500 kilowatt plus chargers. So 400 kilometers of range in 5 minutes in, ideal best case scenario, but it's still unreal. But you can actually apparently use dual gun charging. So you can plug in 2 chargers at once for charging power at 351 kilowatt for each port. So a total of 700 kilowatt. And it also means that what you can do is you can use 2 180 kilowatt chargers at the same time, enabling 350 kilowatt charging. So if you can only find 180 kilowatt chargers, then that's all right. You can still charge at 350 kilowatt using 2 chargers at once. So I'm not sure how that's going to work in the real world, but it appears as though it's like General Motors. General Motors have a similar system where they have 2 different batteries, or sort of 2 separated batteries in the same car, meaning it actually enables them both to charge at the same time. The hybrid version. Let's get into the details on that, because I'm sure many people will want to be interested in the plug-in hybrid version. Not for me personally. I'd prefer the rear-wheel drive version of this car if I was going to get it. But the hybrid version, it utilizes dual electric motors and enables acceleration 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds. Fuel consumption is 5.6 liters per 100 kilometers NEDC, and that's in charge depleting mode. Of course, you're still going to get all electric range. Most of the time, you'd probably just be using the electric range, and the electric range is actually massive. It's got a 35.6 kilowatt hour battery. I don't know which blade battery it is. They haven't actually specified, but it gives it an EV only range of 175 kilometers and up to 215 kilometers depending on the configuration. But anyway, I think real world, you're probably going to get about 140 kilometers of electric only range from the hybrid. That's a lot of range. And I'd say that will cover, 98% of your driving. You're going to be driving this as an EV only, unless you're towing. If you're towing, it's different. Then you're going to be using the actual engine. And when you're towing, I think an EREV might be a better option, but this is probably not going to be a tow car for most people. It can tow though, if you wanted to. So those are the details for both of these, the hybrid version and the electric version. As far as I'm aware, it sounds like both versions will be coming. I'm a big fan of this car. I think it's really impressive. This is groundbreaking technology. A lot of BYD's EVs, you've got to be honest, BYD's electric car sales in China have stalled, haven't really gone up. And other companies have skyrocketed. Look at Geely's EV sales, up 180% this year. XPeng's up more than 200%. Leap Motors skyrocketed as well this year. BYD sales on EVs haven't really grown, but they are now going to, because of this technology rolling out, new batteries coming to BYDs, new charging speed, some pretty impressive autonomous driving technology. BYD are upping the game. And this car here is the absolute, I think this is the best car BYD make. Actually, I think it's the best right now. The technology is the best. And you don't have to pay, it's not premium price like Yang Wang or Fang Cheng Bao. This is just standard BYD. And the best tech is going into a standard BYD, which is pretty damn cool. What are your thoughts, guys? Let me know in the comments. Bye-bye.